Coming up on NBA Breakfast, Steph Curry is back, puts up a 62-piece against the Blazers. Then we talk about the Sixers at 7-1. Are they the best team in the NBA right now? The Raptors at a disappointing 1-6. Kevin Durant gets COVID again for the second time after getting it before the bubble started. And the Markelle Fultz injury, and then Becky Hammon taking over as head coach against the Lakers last week. And then after the break, me and Xavier play a game, talk about a bunch of teams with surprising records, whether that be surprising that they're bad or surprising that they're good. And we play a game called Are They For Real or Are They For Fake? Then we highlight the games coming on the week and give out a couple awards. So here it is.
Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life. Taking one for the team here, protecting you. Oh my gosh! Look at the pain. 88 with the triple. Oh, and here comes the Birdman, flapping his wings and soaring for a sweet flush.
That was Kevin Harlan, ladies and gentlemen, the legend himself, one of the voices of NBA basketball, and he's also hilarious, which is the reason why he opens our podcast. Isn't that right, Xavier?
Kevin Harlan is he seems like a great dude. He seems like one of those guys like I would genuinely like to hang out and watch basketball with.
100%.
I wish he would broadcast and be like a broadcaster for like normal everyday things. Pie eating contest. Are you kidding me? He'd crush that.
Or yeah, he would. He would crush that.
What's that dude? Joey Chestnut. Huh?
Joey Chestnut? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just going down. Joey Chestnut goes to the first hot dog. Oh, now he's on the 7th hot dog. Oh, this man's putting hot dogs down like never before.
Did you hear his call when he, it was like Monday Night Football when he did the black cat that was running on the field? And he
yes.
he did play-by-play for that?
That was an excellent one.
He also...
Because that cat juked a lot of people.
He did. He takes the funny moments, and he just runs with it, and it's great. I would love to see him just a guy just, like lazily just moping, not moping, but just like walking just across the street, and he would make it entertaining and fun to watch.
And this is a sad man, but we have to realize that with sadness, there is happiness. And then take the sadness, it's a beautiful sadness. It's bittersweet. That was not a really good Kevin Harlan impersonation.
No, you don't do his voice very well. Welcome to NBA Breakfast. I'm Chris Magical. That's Xavier Gomez.
What up, X to the G, baby?
The Kevin Harlan Appreciation Minute is who's the fake sponsor for that, Xavier?
Sponsored by Kearns.
What is Kearns for the listeners who
are
listening on podcasts?
It's like a concentrate juice kind of drink with, this one says strawberry banana.
Oh,
Kearns,
nice.
You get them at Costco, Winco.
So it's like a fruity drink?
Yeah, it's a very fruity drink.
Sick.
Not just for the ladies, though.
What were you going to say?
It's not just for the ladies.
It's for the men, too?
Mm-hmm.
What about for the boys? No, because Saturdays are for the boys.
Yeah, you got me there.
Got him. Got him. I set you up.
I'm not drinking.
I set you up for the dunk, and you just whiffed, and I had to clean it up the rebound off the glass.
I'm clean and sober now. I'm not going to drink this year. I stopped drinking.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to see how long I can get.
What about weed? What about weed, though?
Oh, all day, every day, baby.
So then you're not sober. You're just not drinking alcohol.
Well, yes, I'm not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, okay. Well, you said clean and sober, so I was just curious.
I mean, but, it's just weed. You know what I mean? Hey, Grandma, if you're listening to this, I know you're my number one fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's still not sober. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, absolutely right. But, not going to have one with the boys anytime soon.
Okay. Let's hop into it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, morning coffee this week. First
one of the year.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, you're right. It is the first one of the year.
I think it's the 6th day, and it's been like a week. Yeah.
First morning coffee of the year. Well, it only suits us that it is related to our favorite team and our favorite player. This is the biggest story of the week, hands down. Steph Curry had 62 points against the Blazers the other night. Amazing, fantastic game. He shot 50% from 3 or something like that. On a big win against the Blazers, of 15-point win. dominating performance, and then 2 nights later they beat him again by was it 35 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal.
It's the Kings, right? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steph is back. And, the funnest part about this was Steph got a lot of slander before this game. Look, the reality was, it's true. The Warriors were not playing very well. Kelly Oubre, don't even get me started with Kelly Oubre. The guy can't make a jump shot to save his life. He's pretty much only good for defense and dunking. Andrew Wiggins turning around. He's been playing great. But their offense looks a little bit lost without Draymond Green. It's great to have him back. It looks a lot better. Defensively, they're all over the place. It seems like the only productive players on the team so far, like Steph wasn't even productive. He was shooting like 30%, not
Insane.
35 or anything, 30% from 3 before this game. And he just totally lit it up. And this team has just got a fire lit under their ass. Very excited to see how they play against these 2 games against the Clippers. But, yeah, Xavier, what do you got to say about it?
I mean, again, like it was always too soon to judge the Warriors. They had been at that Blazers game. They had been 6 games in.
Yeah,
and they had won 2 at that point. I think I want to say. So it was like too soon to tell like really what this Warriors team was all about. They really had no identity. But it was kind of like I think that game itself really showed who the Warriors were. They're a team that has a great young center who can really get up there and score, but also like be great defensively. I think Wiseman had a lot of good blocks, and I think with that energy all came from Steph just having a tremendous night. And, like, the dude he shot 105 threes in a row. Statistically, he was going to put some down eventually, and I'm glad that it ended up being a 60 bomb. The dude deserved it. I mean, I don't think Steph is a guy who needs, like, big confidence boosts, but it kind of let everybody else know, hey, I'm here, bro. I'm back.
But while you say that, it gave the rest of the team confidence, though. Like, I felt like
100%.
they were thriving off of his heat check, and they were just like, okay, cool. If he can make shots, I could probably make shots, and it opened up defenders a little bit for them that game. And by the way, I was wrong. Sorry, they beat the Kings by 30 points the next day. It was not the Blazers. They beat the Blazers by 14 points. They lost the Blazers the night before that in a pretty humiliating loss. But they've bounced back, and the Kings are a good team. But, Wiggins started shooting better just before that. But Kelly Oubre's got a little bit of swag to him lately. He's actually made some jump shots for once recently.
Good jumpers, yeah.
Damian Lee has been playing pretty good all year, but he's got a lot of confidence from the three-point line. He's shooting 55% from 3 for the season, not just that night from the season. Mm-hmm. James Wiseman, oh my God! Just give him Rookie of the Year now. He's insane. Kent Bazemore was shooting really well. I mean, when Steph plays well, he's just like contagious. Like he just like everybody like just wants to like play well and have fun.
Be around him,
and the team just loves it. Yeah.
And I think the Kings game, like, it showed that the Warriors were, like, still reeling off that big win against the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Because they shot, like, 53% from the 3 against the Kings. And because I think, like, Wiseman was so in the paint, just, like, really, like, rocking in and out of the key, that people were driving left and right because he was making so much space for them. And they scored 50 points in the paint against the Kings. Mm-hmm. And the Kings, like, they were a fast-paced team. They got Halliburton, who doesn't play as much, but they got Hassan Whiteside.
He didn't play
Whiteside.
He didn't play at all that game. He was getting rested that day.
It was Hassan Whiteside who really stepped. He actually had a great game against the Warriors. But the Kings, sure, they got talent, but I don't know. I feel like they really got to make some more statements for them to be taken seriously in the West. But the Warriors still bullied them, and I'd like to see that, baby.
Here's Steph's full stats for that game. So he was plus 20, 60 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds.
And this is the game against Portland.
Yeah, 8 from 16 from 3, like I said, 50%. 18 for 31 from the floor, played only 36 minutes. James Wiseman, another stat line that stood out, had a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. Andrew Wiggins, my boy Wiggins, 21 points, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. We have a Warriors group chat that goes on, me and Xavier and our buddies Manny and Julio. Shout out Manny and Julio, friends of the pod.
Shout out my boys.
And after Wiggins had that really good game against
Portland.
No, the Bulls. The game before
that.
He started playing against the Bulls. I was saying like Wiggins, I love Wiggins, he's my boy, blah blah. I'm all in on Wiggins. So it's been like a big thing, and he's had like 3 straight games with 21 plus points, and
he's shooting a lot better. He's draining that 3-ball a lot better.
Yeah.
He's not taking those. I don't know. I feel like he took a lot of like wonky mid ranges when he really just needs to know like attack the rim. If you're not gonna get it, keep moving. Someone's gonna be there to rebound, and then shoot when you got a good spot. Because he tries to drive and do these wonky shots, and they just piss me off every time.
Yeah, the ISO ball doesn't work for him very well. I mean, it does at times. No. It does at times, but like he forces it for sure. Like once
he's not as big.
It'll work when they start shooting though, because it opens up the paint and opens it up a little bit more. So let me ask you this question. Ooh, excuse me. Let me ask this question. Wiggins second player on the team right now, or not quite yet?
Not quite yet. Well, I would say so. Yeah, production-wise, he's scoring a lot more points than everybody else. But James Wiseman is a force to be reckoned with.
I agree.
And he definitely has a presence on the court, knows what he's doing, knows where to be, and other teams, they're preparing for him in their matchups. And you've seen him making great defensive plays. Putting the ball up, getting good offensive rebounds when he has to. Is it too soon to say he's the second best? I mean, we're only 10 games in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still learning a lot too. It feels like every time he gets taken out of the game, he stands at midcourt with Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr is like coaching him about something.
Mm-hmm. He don't make too many big mistakes either.
Yeah. Off the bench, Pascal's been playing really well too. Like we said, Bazemore's been playing well. Looney's been really good defensively. Wanamaker's been good. He's been like a kind of a general on the floor for that second unit. He hasn't really production-wise, like points stuff like that, been very effective.
He'll get there. He's gonna find his niche, but he could tell he's just trying to
Dude,
facilitate.
he hasn't needed to. So the second unit they've been putting out, which I think is their best second unit, has been Wanamaker, Pascal, Wiggins stays with that unit, and then Damian Lee. And that unit is really good and really efficient, and there's a lot of scoring on that unit with Lee, Pascal, and Wiggins, so he doesn't really need to score. He just needs to, just manage the offense, and that's kind of what I want him to do.
I like Juan Toscano-Anderson. Dude has a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
He comes on the court, playing good defense, rotating well, helping a lot when he needs to. Maybe because he's got that, hey, I want to make the team kind of mentality still.
Well, I mean, he's on the team. He's kind of a key player right now.
Yeah, he's really stepped up and made himself valuable. And the Warriors, great. But, all right, so, we're only a couple games in. The whole league, on average, probably has played, each per team, 6-7 games. And I've noticed already that, no team looks like they're the best clear team so far. And there's also been, a decent amount of blowouts.
Yeah.
The Mavericks getting blown out by the Hornets, Clippers getting blown out, and then going back and blowing out. Who do they blow out with Kawhi?
It honestly kind of feels hit or miss. Either it's a super close game or it's a blowout. There's no in between.
Exactly, and I think that's happened all around the league.
Yeah.
The Wizards had a couple great games, and then they end up getting blown out. And I think they're a team that scores a lot, and their record doesn't show it.
Yeah.
They don't play defense that well, but
no, they don't. They're gonna have to turn that around for sure.
They score a lot of points, man. They just lost today. Today's Wednesday. They just lost to the 76ers, 136 to 141.
Well, the Sixers are 7-1 right now, dude. So let's not get too carried away where we think that's a shameful loss. I would not necessarily say that at all.
True. But they're still putting up a ton more points than other teams are on average, and losing games. It's hard to see.
Yeah. So to answer my question for myself, I would say Wiggins is the second best player. It's hard for me to give a rookie the second best player award. But Draymond, his impact on the team since he's been back has been insane. So he actually is the second best player on the team, but I feel like in order to win awards, you have to be available.
Productive,
best ability
offensive.
is availability. So he will be that guy.
That second Portland game, that was Draymond's third game back.
That was
right.
That was his second game. No, that was his first game back.
He didn't play against the Bulls.
Wait,
I thought he played the Bulls and he did both games.
Right. I think you're right. I think he did.
So that was his third game. So they finally the first one, all right, he's back. But I guess by the third game, they're already starting to gel. Defense did look better. Sometimes they got kind of burnt that first game against Portland because Portland was fast and they were shooting. CJ, oh my God. CJ McCollum was on fire, bro.
Wait, no, he didn't play. So the game before the Blazers game, the first Blazers game was the Pistons. He did not play in that game. So I think the Blazers game 1 was his first game back.
That's right. And we all expected him to come back for Detroit. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and he just didn't.
He's like,
and the
nah.
Blazers, remember he had a minute restriction. It was 20 minutes, and they looked good when he was playing, but when he was off, and I think Juan Toscano-Anderson was the one who was playing for him with those minutes, and it just wasn't exactly the same type of feel. And I have some comments on Draymond, but I'm gonna save them for later in the pod because he's gonna come up for me later in the pod. So let's move on. All right, let's get to the short stack. First thing is the Sixers are. Wait, did they play today?
Yeah, they just played against the Wizards. They beat them.
Okay, so they're 7-1 now. They're not 6-1. They have yet to lose a home game, and they have the best record in the NBA. On the other side, the Raptors are 1-6 or 1-5. Yeah. So a bit of yin and yang there. So we could. I don't know. I guess we could start.
They were both playoff teams last year.
Yeah.
They both made it to the Eastern Conference semis.
Yeah.
But I think what the big problem for Toronto is that they again have no identity.
Hold on, the Sixers didn't make the Eastern Conference semis. Didn't they get knocked out the first round in the bubble?
No, they made it out of the first round and lost the second round.
I don't think they did, my dude.
Who did they lose to? The Celtics?
No, I think they. Yeah, I think
Bucks
so.
were number 1 with the Magic. Number 2 was the Raptors.
And they beat the Nets. They swept the Nets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 and 5 was
Indiana and Miami.
Yeah, Miami won. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
Oh yeah, they played the Celtics and they lost in the first round. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Damn. Yeah, so the Sixers suck. I'm just kidding.
It's pretty wild how 2 3 and D guys. Bobby's gonna just slap you in the face next time he sees you. It's pretty wild how 2 3 and D guys can change that team that much. I don't know if I necessarily believe.
So what have you noticed from
at some point,
Sixers
sometime
team?
during the season, Embiid's gonna cry, and then it's gonna turn the locker room.
Dude does love to cry.
Whatever you do, Embiid,
hey, honestly,
don't hurt me.
If you gotta cry, go ahead, cry, man. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be ashamed. Real men cry. Real men shed tears.
But big girls don't cry, but men are allowed to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Actually, I think that song is really a critique about how big girls do cry. And everybody's supposed to expect big girls not to cry.
Have you ever seen Jersey Boys? At least the movie.
No, I have not.
So you're not missing anything in the movie. It's absolutely god awful.
Really?
I haven't seen the play, but I saw the movie, and there's a scene where he's writing that song, and they explain the meaning behind it, because they're these we're these
Frankie Valli
in the no, but Frankie Valli doesn't write the songs for the Four Seasons. It was one of the other dudes. He wrote all the songs. But the dude brings a song in, and Tommy DeVito, who's kind of like a mobster, he's in the group, and in real life, I think he was connected to the mob. He's like, hey, this tough New Jersey boy. Hey, what's going on? Hey, yabba. I don't know, what New Jersey Italians do. And he reads a song. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? Hey, what? I mean, come on. Big girls don't cry. Get the fuck out of here. We're not singing this song. And then they explain the meaning of the song. And the movie's so boring, I always tune out, and I don't listen to what the meaning of this. And I know all this for pretty much there's literally no end to the story.
So you're saying I should definitely watch it for some historical?
I'm telling you right now, it's a shit movie.
Reference?
It's directed by Clint Eastwood. I don't know what he's doing directing a musical. He has no business doing that, but it wasn't very good.
Clint Eastwood directed that?
But if you want to look up the meaning of that song, it's not about girls. I'll tell you that, and I don't know what it's about. So,
okay. When you were talking about the girls don't cry.
The moral of the story is I still don't know what the meaning is. So we didn't know from the beginning of the story, and we still don't know after the story. So
okay, so
this story was pretty much the most pointless.
You were talking about Frankie Valli and Big Girls Don't Cry. I was thinking about Fergie, all right? Because big girls don't cry.
That is
Hey, Spotify, don't take us off because of that. All right, that's just me singing.
You know what's the wildest thing about that is complete opposite ends of subject matter. And
That's
we
what
were
I
on
was trying to.
So
I was trying to get to that.
So my story is just completely pointless. So we just wasted 4 minutes of the viewer's valuable time. So
But did we? Because all we're doing is like, create narratives on this song. I think that Fergie, when she made the song "Big Girls Don't Cry," she's really saying that big girls do cry. They're not supposed to, but they do, and honestly, that's okay.
Don't cry.
And she's just trying to be strong because she feels like she's supposed to.
I hope you know that this is nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
Nailed
Fergie,
it.
she tears it up. Oh my god, that album with Fergalicious and London Bridge. I think that was her first solo after the Black Eyed Peas, or during the Black Eyed Peas. I think she did it concurrently because she got it like that.
Fergie, she divorced Josh Duhamel, which I don't understand. Like, Josh Duhamel is like a 10, bro. Like, I don't like where. And honestly, Fergie, like,
Was he Tad Hamilton?
She's aged a little bit.
He was Tad Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
I always get Josh Duhamel and Timothy Olyphant mixed up.
Dude,
all the
they
time.
look hella similar, right?
They really do.
They really do.
But
Which
Timothy
one?
Olyphant has like a little bit more swag, and he's like.
Which one was
I saw
in
Justified.
Which one
Shout
was
out
in
Justified.
Which one was in oh, for some reason I wanted to say Beast Wars, but it's not Beast Wars. Transformers.
Transformers.
Yeah. Shout out Beast Wars.
Shout out Transformers.
It's Duhamel that's in Transformers, right?
Yes, it is.
Did you know that? The original script of Fast and Furious, the role of Dominic was supposed to be a white family, and it was supposed to be not Vin Diesel. It was supposed to be Timothy Olyphant.
Really?
I swear to God, like they had him like signed and everything, but then they like something happened with like the creative and Eliza Dushku or whatever like her name
Elijah
is.
Dushku.
She was
Yes.
supposed to be Mia.
Ooh, I always had a huge crush on her. Jeez.
Yeah, and yeah, they threw that out and they made it like a Hispanic
I'm glad
family.
they did because Vin Diesel and Jordana Brewster really.
But we don't
did a
know
good
what
job.
race Vin Diesel is though.
He's racially ambiguous, which is the best race.
Yeah, that's why he gets all these like random roles.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
like A-Rod or Derek Jeter. Nobody knows what race they are.
A-Rod played for Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic, so we do.
What about
know
Derek
race.
Jeter?
His dad's
Yeah, I
black.
shouldn't have said A-Rod. I shouldn't have said A-Rod.
D-
Racially ambiguous. He's a biracial angel.
Jeter's dad is black, I think.
I don't know. I don't look up these things.
No, I think he is though.
It's like Tiger Woods. Nobody knows what he really is either.
We do know what he is.
He's called Blasian, baby.
You know what was funny about when I was singing Fergie? Zoom popped up and asked me if I was playing music. So that means my vocals must have been pretty good. You can tweet at me if you thought my vocals weren't good, but if you thought they were good, you can also tweet at me and say, nice vocals on that last episode, Chris. I'm at Chris24kmagic on Twitter.
I don't even like to sing.
Back to basketball. Get the fuck out of here.
I like singing.
Let's get back to basketball. So yeah, Sixers.
Is that what we're doing on this podcast?
Yeah. and that random talk was brought to you by who's the fake sponsor for that one, Xavier?
Oh, I got our sponsors written down. This sponsor was brought to you by
Fake
this
sponsor.
album.
It's very important that legally that people know that that's fake sponsor.
You mean people aren't going to know that Kearns sponsored our talk earlier?
Well, I
that
just
segment
don't-
about
I just don't want
big girls not
Kearns-
crying.
I just don't want Kearns to sue us. Like it needs to be known. Like we need to be like protected by parody law. Otherwise,
I mean,
Katie
but, like-
Lucido, we shouted out to her last episode. She's gonna actually have to be our lawyer for this podcast. If we
Okay, but like, is Kearns going to be mad that we're giving him free promo? Like, I don't think so.
well, I think we'll represent their brand differently than their.
Just don't say anything racist so that they don't have to retract.
No, it's not
anything,
about
you know
that.
what I
Is
mean?
they probably have an advertising brand, and I don't think that their advertising agency would be very happy with us representing their brand that's not on what they designed.
If you're listening and you're from Kearns PR, reach out. Give us a shout out, you know?
No, don't reach out because don't sue us. Ugh.
But what if they're like, hey, you know, we fuck with you guys.
I'm gonna-
Well, I mean, I won't curse. We mess with you guys.
Why?
And,
We curse on this podcast
Here's
all
a
the time.
free case of Kearns. I'd be ecstatic. For the listeners at Kearns, I'd like strawberry banana.
So now I gotta text Katie Lucido and let her
You don't
aware.
have to do
Like,
that. You don't have to.
hey,
so that's
can you
that Fergie segment.
I'm gonna text her and be like, hey, can you unofficially be our show's lawyer?
She already is. I've already talked to her about this.
Okay.
Go
All right.
Zags.
So what was that? Go ahead. What was it sponsored by? Fake sponsor?
That Fergie segment was sponsored by Trevor Lawrence's flowy hair.
Do you think Trevor
It's
Lawrence?
beautiful. Do
you think Trevor Lawrence's flowy hair has a advertising agency that we have to stick to their brand?
Better. Honestly, like he's gonna get that copyright. You know, it's gonna be like the brow. He's gonna be the flow. You know, and just like not even wear a helmet. He's gonna have one of those helmets that has like a pocket, so his hair can just flow at the back and just throw touchdowns.
If you have fantastic flowy hair like that, it should be against the law for you to cut it. Like Justin Herbert,
or cover it up with a helmet.
Justin Herbert, great hair, shaves it off.
You know, I don't even know that Justin Herbert has great hair until you told me just right now.
Yeah, he had great long flowing hair. Okay, so the Raptors.
What about him?
Is their season salvageable?
Uh,
I feel like it's
No.
way too early to no. I feel like it's way too
just
early
kidding.
to have this conversation, but I thought
It is. They've definitely fallen out of like that top tier of Eastern Conference teams.
Yeah.
Luckily, that side of the NBA is a little less competitive compared to the West, so there's probably gonna be a spot open for them to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to fight for it, but I can't see them falling off so hard from being that number 2 seed. Like last year, they're a smart young team that plays well together. They didn't really lose too many pieces. They still got Fred, still got Pascal, still got Kyle Lowry, who I don't know. I wouldn't say he's the star of that team. I think he's a solid number 2.
No, I
think
think Siakam and Van Vliet at this point are the stars of that team.
Definitely.
They still got OG. They still got Norman Powell. They still got a good roster.
Yeah, the Raptors aren't crazy. I think they're playing the Suns tonight, and that could be a good test. They're 1-5. Suns are 5-2. And then like coming up, they're gonna play the Kings and the Warriors.
Tough games.
This weekend, yeah, and follow that up with the Blazers. But then they got a back-to-back against the Hornets. Maybe they could pick up both of those, something like that. I'm not sure. The Hornets are super weird, surprising team. I don't know what to expect out of them. If you're a betting man, don't bet on the Hornets or for or against. Who knows what's gonna happen with those guys?
I bet them at plus 310 the other night, and I made money, so it was pretty nice.
Who'd they play?
But they were winning at halftime. It was a live bet. I forgot who they're playing.
They beat up the Mavs the other day, which was
I want to say it was.
surprising.
I want to say it was the Mavs. They were up at halftime, I think, and they were still at plus like 310, or maybe it was close. I don't remember, but I bet it and I made some good money off of it.
Yeah, Luka got in some foul trouble that game. It was a good game. They played. That LaMelo, he can have good games, but I've also seen him play some pretty shitty games so far.
Here's the thing with LaMelo.
Not shitty games.
All NBA Twitter puts the highlights, like his one highlight per game on Twitter, and everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to be the star. But you watch him, and he's fucking trash. He makes a lot of mistakes, bro. He makes a lot of mistakes. He has some sexy passes and stuff like that, but he's not as good as NBA Twitter makes him out to be because they just desperately want him to be good.
Yeah, he's a big turnover guy. Makes a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Shot selection could be better. He does make good drives to the basket. He plays decent enough defense. You know, I haven't seen him get exposed too much. But you're right. Yeah, bringing up the ball, he has some problems, and it's maybe because he's too young to really lead that team. I don't know. Hornets, very peculiar team. I don't know what to say about them just yet.
All right, let's move on to the next story. KD, bro. So if you are one of those people out there who believes that you can't get COVID more than once, Kevin Durant is an example that you can, because he got COVID again. He got it at the beginning of this pandemic, and he just got it again. He's going to be out for the next 4 games. I
didn't know that KD got it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Did he get it like early on, like April?
Yeah.
May, something like that? Wow.
Yeah.
Pull him.
Yeah, because I remember when he was on doing the like NBA 2K tournament on ESPN, he had it then.
That's right.
So yeah, you can get it again. And he's gonna be out for a while, so we'll see what the Nets do without him. Him and
4
Spencer
or 5
Dinwiddie
games
now. Him and Spencer Dinwiddie. It's a tough one.
Yeah, the Nets. I mean, what they've played 6 games so far, I think.
Yeah.
And they already started to look like they're going to be big contenders. And I think they will be. But I already assumed that the Nets were gonna like rest KD and Kyrie at some point in the season, like, not to take it too seriously. And I don't think they're looking to win the conference at all. I think they're just trying to make the playoffs and coast to there. So I don't think this is a big deal for the Nets. Eventually, they're gonna have to put in a stretch where they win a bunch of games, which I don't think is super impossible. There's probably a good strip of their schedule coming up that they could probably do something like that and really get into good standing. I
don't necessarily agree, Xavier, mainly because we've seen what getting the number 1 seed can do to help you going into the playoffs. I think we saw it last year where the Lakers had a more or less pretty easy road throughout the playoffs, and the Clippers had a lot tougher road, and it kind of bit them in the ass when they had to play the Nuggets in the second round. So I don't know why you wouldn't try to go for the number 1 seed. I know in the past it hasn't really mattered much because it's been like, at least in the East, because like it's like 4 good teams in the East, and then it just falls off dramatically. But the East is a little bit more stacked this year, so I think it matters a little bit.
Say they get the 8th seed and they got to play the 1 seed, which at this point is the Sixers. You beat the Sixers, and then you coast like you're the 1st seed again.
Yeah,
you have a tough opening series, but I mean the East doesn't look too crazy. I think the scariest team other than the Nets is probably the Celtics.
Yeah,
Celtics look good. Kemba's been out, and Jaylen Brown's been looking.
But if you're the Nets, would you rather play the Magic in the first round, or would you rather play, I don't know, the Nets, or not the Nets, the Hornets? I'd rather play the Hornets, right?
Yeah, the Hornets.
That's the difference between like maybe potentially the 7th seed and the 8th seed. Like it's something something to consider.
Yeah, I don't really think they're looking for the number 1 seed. It's just it's too many games that they have to win, and I think they're gonna drop some games right by resting people for sure.
Here's my point. Let me just say this because I feel like we're veering away from it a little bit, and we gotta move on because we're at 30 minutes already. They've already lost Dinwiddie for the season. They're losing KD now for a couple games. What was the one thing about this team at the beginning of the season that we were like, fuck, they're going to dominate the East because of this one thing? Their depth.
2 pure scorers, yeah.
Well, in their depth. And right now they're losing that depth. They've already lost Dinwiddie, and they're losing KD, so now LeVert has to step up, and there's no real second unit like main scorer now.
Yeah, but KD's going to come back. You know what I mean? It's not like he's out
I
for the
know,
season
but
like
I'm
Dinwiddie
saying
is.
like these 4. I mean, we're saying so these 4 games. As far as we know, it's these 4 games. If it extends past that, who knows? Like, and then they're losing 6 games. That's a big difference at the end of the season.
True, and I guess that has a lot more weight to it if they only play half as many games as they usually do.
Yeah.
Instead of playing the usual 82, yeah. Say they only get 60 games in, and if you lose like 20 games, it's going to be 20 games early on in the first half of the season. It's going to be hard to have a winning record on the back end.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think the Nets are still a good team because they did have that depth. Yeah, they lost a couple of people, but there's no reason they can't go on a little hot streak and get back into some good standings, be like a 4th, 5th seed in the East. For sure, especially with the Raptors not playing as well as they used to. Especially with like teams like the Wizards not really being contenders. The Bucks don't look nearly as good as they are.
Yeah.
As they did last year, at least in the regular season.
I think they'll get it together, though. I mean, I think they're just trying to figure out their new personnel with
There's
Holiday.
a plan in place there, and I'm not worried about the Nets at all.
All right, I respect it. So one quick piece of news that's new in the past 10 minutes. Markelle Fultz suffered a ACL tear. He is out for the season, which is brutal because he is having a fantastic comeback season. Yeah, Xavier. I just got.
My goodness!
I just got that update, bro. Markelle Fultz suffers a torn ACL. Magic starting point guard will miss the rest of the season after suffering injury versus the Cavaliers. Brutal, man. It's a brutal blow, especially the Magic because he was such a crucial part of their success this year. They are 4-2. I don't know if they won tonight or
5-2. They did win tonight.
They won. They're 5-2. They're second best team in the East.
They were looking.
They're gonna
good.
miss him, man. They're gonna miss him. I don't know who subs in at point guard for them now.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know who. Let me look at their roster.
Let's see. Jordan Bone or Kareem Mane.
Who's a good shooting guard on that team?
Oh, Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony will step up.
Cole Anthony. But Cole Anthony, he's playing well for a rookie, but he's not Fultz. He's not going to replace 20 plus points, 5 assists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's going to make someone like Vucevic have to increase his productivity because who's going to really do it? You know, Evan Fournier?
Yeah, Fournier. He really choked in the playoffs last year. You know,
my favorite French player in the NBA right now. My favorite French player. It was Boris Diaw.
Yeah, and now it's Evan Fournier.
Retired. Now it's Evan Fournier.
I don't
like any other French player in the league.
I don't think Evan Fournier is French. I think he's American.
He is, actually. I looked it up before this podcast just to make sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I hate Rudy Gobert.
Terrence Ross will have to step up. Let me look at their roster. Yeah, man. Markelle Fultz, that's tough. Aaron Gordon's going to have to step up.
They have Michael Carter-Williams.
No, I think he left, bro. They don't have him this year.
They don't have Michael Carter-Williams anymore?
No, fuck. Yeah, Fournier and Cole Anthony got to step up. Cole Anthony's been playing fine.
No, Michael Carter-Williams is definitely on the Magic still.
So who would you say is their star? Vucevic?
Other than Markelle Fultz. Vucevic or Aaron Gordon?
I feel like Aaron Gordon's been kind of disappointing.
And they got that other shooting guard that I like so much, Dwayne Bacon.
That's right. Anyway, we'll
Farouk
hold on, stop. We'll get into this later on in the second half of the podcast. So let's not let's wait.
All right.
Preview for you listeners out there. The last piece of news in the short stack. Becky Hammon took over for Greg Popovich against the Lakers a week ago after Popovich got thrown out of the game. First woman to be head coach and run a team in the NBA. Pretty cool.
How about a round of applause? You can put that in, right? You can add that in, right?
I mean, we're doing it right now.
Just add it in, you know?
Okay, all right. Pretty exciting, really cool. I've been pushing for this for years. I know a lot of other people are. But here's the reality here's my take. Until a team mans up, pun intended, mans up and hires her as an actual head coach, this is all just fluff and all for naught. It doesn't matter. Like, she's been probably one of the most qualified coaches for the past 3 seasons to get one of these head coaching jobs, and she has yet to get it. So this is great. It's a cool moment, but until a team actually hires her to do the job that she probably would do better than more than half the head coaches that are in this league right now, it just doesn't matter.
Why do you think teams haven't already tried to recruit her?
Because she's a woman. Simple as that. Because an owner doesn't.
But why?
Because an owner doesn't.
That...
Hold on. Because an owner doesn't trust a woman to run their team, and they don't think that a woman can manage these players, these personalities, and manage a locker room, which is total bullshit. If you watched that game, those Spurs players really did rally around her. I mean, there's no reason. It's just straight up. The only thing I think of is just straight up. It's the culture of sports in general. And the NBA has done a great job of changing that culture. I'm not accusing the NBA of anything right now. I'm just saying sports in general, and people in those positions still have that mindset, unfortunately.
I agree. I think a lot of people have those reservations, but until we see a female coach in the NBA, there's no real reason not to think that she can do it. She's played the first game, and it went great. I think the Spurs won. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, as far as we know, women coaching in the NBA are undefeated.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The only owners I could think that would do it and actually consider it are Joe Lacob of the Warriors, the Spurs owner, forgot his name. And Mark Cuban, but unfortunately, all 3 of those franchises have franchise head coaches, so that's opportunity is never going to really be there with those teams, and until one of these, and I say that because those are probably the most open-minded owners in the NBA, which I think the NBA has a lot of open-minded owners, but I think those are the most. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird weird situation. Definitely the Knicks. That would never be one of them. All right, cool. We're gonna take a quick break and
Can't wait to talk about the Knicks.
We'll be right back. Another little preview for our feature segment this week. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. NBA Breakfast, second half. All right, so this game, this week, or segment, I guess game, it's going to be kind of both, is going to be called For Real or For Fake. It is only 7 or 8 games into the season, and we're some records for some teams are all over the place. Some teams are playing well that maybe we expected, maybe we didn't, and some teams are playing not so well that maybe we also expected didn't. So we're gonna go through those teams. Me and Xavier are gonna decide if they're for real or for fake.
Okay.
Xavier, let's start with the Raptors. We talked about them a little bit at the top. They are 1-5. This is a team that we thought going into the season was going to be very good. I know they lost some key players in Marcus Gasol,
Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka, and I think that's it. But they re-signed Fred VanVleet, probably their second best player, maybe third. Lowry's getting older. He's like 35, which is kind of crazy. Still got Lowry, still got Siakam. Anunoby has played a lot better. He has improved. He was probably the most improved player last year, in my opinion. And they got some solid bench pieces, but their big men are definitely struggling with depth there. Xavier, are they for real or are they for fake?
The Raptors. They went 53-19 with a similar team, missing some big man pieces, but an Eastern Conference that isn't as popping as it was. I say they are still for real.
They are still for real. So their record is for fake. All right.
Yes.
I'm with that, too. They played some tough teams. I think they're still trying to figure out how their nucleus works without like a really strong big men presence, because that's, like I said, Marcus Gasol, probably future Hall of Famer, not an easy person to just like fucking replace. Siakam has not been playing as well as he did last year too. I am curious to see if that is just a temporary thing or if that he just had a breakout season last year and won't be able to repeat it.
Maybe he hasn't been slandered enough on the Twitter timeline.
Oh yeah, you should
for him to really show up. Yeah, we should tweet at Siakam, yo, you suck. Maybe tomorrow night he'll drop 45. We'll see.
But I think they'll turn around. It's the East. They'll make the playoffs at least, and 10 teams get into the playoffs this year with the play-in tournament. So,
yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah,
and I mean, on a one game, they could probably beat somebody, who's on the cusp. Maybe like the Magic now.
Yeah. All right. The Philadelphia 76ers 7-1. Xavier, are they for real or are they for fake?
If you know me, I'm a big hater on the Sixers.
But you do it more as a parody.
Yeah. No, they've shown that they can shoot the ball. They can play. Embiid and Simmons can play very well together. I think Ben Simmons is actually he's gonna be a little underrated this year. I think he's worked on his jumper. He can play good defense when he needs to. I'm gonna say they are for real, and they're gonna be a contender in the East this year.
Do you think Simmons and Embiid can play together?
Yes, I've actually watched a couple games with them, and they were looking pretty good. That one game in particular that I want to bring out was they just had a big game against the Wizards where they overcame Bradley Beal, dropping 60 points.
That happened tonight.
Let me see. What was the game? Oh, they played the Sixers opening night.
Sixers.
I mean, they played the Celtics opening night,
Nice.
and they beat them, and they played a really good game.
Yeah.
And they played a really good game, moved the ball around a lot. Embiid had a couple good blocks. Their defense was on point. They were a good contending team last year. Eliminated the first round, of course. And we've seen that winning the regular season doesn't really matter sometimes for certain teams.
Yeah.
I need the Bucks. But I think their record is for real, and they're going to be for real again.
I think the team makeup has dramatically changed when they moved Tobias Harris to power forward because he is not a small forward. And obviously the two shooters are helping, the 3-and-D guys and Danny Green and Seth Curry, but I don't think two guys off the bench can help you that much.
Seth Curry.
Actually, I think Seth starts actually.
Great addition to that team, Seth.
Yeah. But I don't know. They're kind of making it work, and Tobias Harris is getting a lot more room to create shots and stuff like that. So I like him a lot. And I think this is for real. Do I think that they're the best team in the East? No. But do I think that they'll be on the top half of the standings at the end of the season? I do. If Embiid can just keep it together and stay in shape-ish.
Yeah, they beat the Wizards twice. They beat the Hornets twice. They beat the Magic and the Raptors. I mean, they haven't had the toughest schedule necessarily, but they didn't look like it was a fluke every time they beat those guys, So
I was gonna say, it's a good segue to our next team, the Wizards. Because are they a good team? Because they're 2-6. Is this for real or is this not?
Talk about a team that can score a ton of points and look good doing it. That absolutely just does not play defense.
We hyped them up so much at the first episode.
Well, yeah, because I was like, all right, they could not play defense and they'll just score a ton of points.
Yeah.
You got Bradley Beal, you got Hachimura, you got Russell Westbrook, and they are scoring a ton of points.
Yeah.
They just don't play any defense, so teams are allowed to score just as many points against them.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. They're 2-5.
You said Bradley Beal put up 60 points tonight, and then how many points did they
lost.
give up? They gave up
141.
Oh, my God.
And they scored 136, and Bradley Beal dropped 60. Remember when he did that last year with John Wall? He put up 50 points, and they still lost by 2 or something. Ridiculous.
I mean, I don't really know too much about Hachimura, to be honest with you. I know Denny Avdia, one of his things was he was a pretty good off-ball defender. But Davis Bertans was never been a really good defender. Robin Lopez is like the king of not being a good defender. He's kind of soft.
Thomas Bryant, don't count him out. He's been a solid center for them. Good big man to have who gets a lot of good offensive rebounds, and he could dish it out real quick to Bradley Beal or Westbrook, which allows them to continually attack the paint. And I think that's a good thing there, but no defense. These guys got no defense.
Let's see.
What's going on there?
I want to look at their schedule and see what. Okay, so they gave up 141 today. They gave up 120 their game before that against the Nets. They gave up 130 against the Timberwolves. They gave up 130 against the Bulls. They gave up 115 against the Bulls. They gave up 120 against the Magic. They gave up 130 against the Magic. They gave up 130. They've never. Oh my God. They've never been in the single-digit hundreds.
They refuse to. They're a fast-paced team too, and I think other teams try to match that. Yeah. But everybody else is just as conditioned as they are. They let Joel Embiid score 38 points in 37 minutes. You should not allow that to happen.
That's pretty wild.
Okay, that's ridiculous. All right, Seth Curry had 28 tonight against them. Just you can't.
Seth had 28 tonight. Wow.
He did have 28. Yeah, they put up good numbers over there. Tobias Harris with 19.
I'm trying to look up Embiid's points, where he scored them. He only scored 3. He only shot 4 threes. 13 for 13
Wizards.
On field goals. Oh, wow.
So you asked me if they're for real. I'm going to say the Wizards are not for real. I think the record shows how good they are right now. And they haven't played too many really stacked teams. Just other teams that they should have competitive games with. They shouldn't have dropped as many as they have so far. They're not for real unless they figure out a way to turn it around and play some good defense again.
Yeah, as much as I wanted them to be good and hyped them up at the beginning of the season, I'm not. After watching them play, I'm not crazy about them. All right, next team, the Orlando Magic, 6-2. Are they for real or are they fake?
For real, as in a playoff team, I would say they are for real. But
are they 6-2, top of the East, for real?
I would say no. And now with the addition of the injured Markelle Fultz, I'd say definitely not. But so they made the 8th seed last year, and Vucevic was out for a couple weeks, and he came back, and they had a good bubble run, and they were able to pick up one game against the Bucks. Could they sneak in again as an 8th seed? Maybe. But without Fultz, I think it's a little bit tougher to do it out now. I'm not going to count them out just yet, but I don't think they're going to be a top contending team in the East right now.
Yeah.
With they're not at full power like this. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Yeah. I liked the makeup of their team when Fultz was playing well, because he was kind of a surprise for them. When he was playing well, I could see them potentially like getting like a 5 seed, like sneaking in there in the middle of the East. But without him, he's been such a big part of their team, and we were looking at it, and we were looking at their roster. They're pretty thin at the guard spot after that. I don't know who's going to take over for him and make up for those 20 points a game he's been averaging. Like, that's tough. They're not very deep. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're a playoff team still. I mean, they did it last year with more or less without him. Yeah, Cole, I think, is going to have to step it up.
They got Michael Carter-Williams, who he's going to give you 15 points maybe.
Yeah.
It's going to need some guys to step up, but I just don't really see it. Aaron Gordon, he's good. Showy player, but he's not a guy you can count on who's going to give you at least 20 points a night. It's just not going to happen there.
Yeah. All right. I'm also saying fake. Fake record, but they're for real. They're a good team in these.
Playoff team, I would say, yeah.
The New York Knicks.
Ooh, the Knickerbockers.
You've been wanting to talk about them all night.
The Knicks, they look like they are a competent team again. They look like they can hold their own. They don't make a lot of stupid mistakes. They got some young guys, but they look like they are ready to compete in the East.
Yeah.
You know, they got who's their coach? They got what's his name? He came back.
I'm totally blanking too.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I don't know why.
He's famous. He came back just to do that. Tom Thibodeau.
That's right. Duh, the defensive wizard, Tom Thibodeau.
The Knicks. Yeah. They got OB in the draft, who he hasn't played a lot just yet. But they got a lot of young guys who are really playing hard, and they got kind of a breakout star in Julius Randle right now.
Yeah, bro.
Dude's playing out of his mind, and he's always been a good player. He just didn't really have a good coach, to coach him. And now he's being. I see him in a lot of situations where he's excelling. He's doing a lot of good pick and rolls. He's not taking stupid shots. He's not gonna get caught behind the 3-point line. It's just not happening for him. And then him blowing up is gonna make guys like R.J. Barrett or Quickly or Austin Rivers. Oh, Quickly.
He scored 30. He scored 30 points tonight and had 16 rebounds. Like, this dude's out of his mind.
Yeah,
Mitchell
Julius
Robinson's
is
been
doing
playing well
super
too.
good.
Alfred Payton's been playing well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they got Nerlens Noel, who I always kind of liked as a little power forward.
Austin Rivers
the Knicks
doing well off the bench too.
Yeah, Knicks look good. They beat the Jazz the other night, which was cool because I don't really like Rudy Gobert that much.
Yeah, they won 12. They beat him by 12 points.
Yeah, I know. Oh, dude, did you see what Jared Allen did to him?
So you just hate on the Jazz in general, just overall, because Rudy Gobert is on that team?
Yes, 100%. I really like Donovan Mitchell. I actually enjoy him playing basketball. Watching him playing basketball.
You are relentless with this random, just like hatred towards Rudy Gobert.
All right, I'll lay off. I guess a little bit. I'll pull it back. I'm turning it down. The knob is going.
What
down.
if Evan Fournier said was like you met him and he's like, "Hey man, I'll be friends with you, but you have to forgive Rudy Gobert." Would you forgive him?
Yeah, I'll forgive him. But my dislike towards Rudy happened before the whole COVID microphone thing. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I didn't really like him before then.
Anyway,
Knicks. I think they're for real. I think they're gonna be a playoff team. I think they're a young team that's fast. It's gonna score a lot of points, beat good teams when they need to. I think they'll get in as like one of those lower seeds, 6, 7, 8, and we'll make some noise in the first round. Maybe not make it out of that first round, but as far as that, I think they're for real.
I do not think they're for real. I think they're riding just a hot streak. I think Julius Randle's playing out of his mind. I don't know if he can keep it up though. Mitchell Robinson is fine. They're also playing a lot of minutes, 40 minutes for Julius Randle. I don't know if that's realistic for the rest of the season. But I think the thing that annoys me the most about this team is that they really should be focusing on developing R.J. Barrett more. He's been playing fine. Kevin Knox and Obi Toppin, but Mitchell Robinson and Randall are kind of like overshadowing them and taking and could be potentially taking minutes away from at least Obi Toppin when he comes back. Yeah, I don't think they're for real. I think they'll fall off quick.
40 minutes for Julius Randle is a lot.
Yeah, I think they'll fall, especially this early in the season. I think they'll fall off a lot. I would not expect this to be a thing. Who's that fucking dog barking in their background?
We got a dog, all right? I don't know how to... Shh. Stop it.
He just disobeyed you.
He's outside, bro. I'm on the second floor. I didn't think this would be an issue.
The dog. All right. Anyway, we'll keep going. I don't think
they're a really good microphone.
I don't think they're for real. And that's that. The Gold Hour, Golden State Warriors at 4-3. Are they for real, or are they fake?
For the listeners out there, I just closed my window. If you want to know what kind of dog it is, feel free to DM me or at me on Twitter. It's at GoMessica. You know, I'll tell you what kind of dog it is.
Nice.
If you want to guess, by all means.
Oh, you should guess. We should play this guessing game.
You should guess. All right, next week I'll announce the winners. You get nothing.
You get a shout out, and you can create a fake sponsor for us on the air that Xavier will create some copy for. So he'll
exactly.
Like if you want to do, let's say you want to do Hydro Flask as a sponsor, Xavier will create a sponsorship phrase for you.
Mm-hmm. I'll also give you $12.50 in Kohl's cash.
Do you have $12.50 in Kohl's cash?
No. But don't tell them that. Jeez.
Oh, well, you just told them that.
I know. I'm just kidding.
All right, Xavier.
Kohl's cash?
The Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors. Played a couple good games lately. The record doesn't really show that they're a good team. I think they're 2-6 right now, 2-5.
The Warriors are they're 4-3. They're a winning record right now.
Oh yeah, they've turned it around. I think with the loss of Klay Thompson, the Warriors are gonna have to fight a little bit more than they I guess expected to going into the season. Kind of as the underdog, old champ team.
Champ team.
But we're seeing good production out of the younger guys. The team's kind of starting to become more cohesive. Mm-hmm. That being said, though, this is a Western Conference that has a lot of teams that have already figured it out, that aren't looking to be cohesive. They're just trying to win games. And I think when push comes to shove, the Warriors may not have that push to really be a contending team that can make it, first, second round, or to the finals, So I'm going to have to say no. It's fake on the Warriors. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to be able to sneak it in this year. I'd be pleasantly surprised if they did. If say another team can't really hang. With I think John Moran not really having a real injury, but missing a couple games could help them. The Suns not figuring it out as fast as they thought they would. But as of right now, I don't think the Warriors have two legs to stand on in the Western Conference.
I feel like Draymond Green is such an important part of their team, not only defensively, but I think he's underestimated or underappreciated what he does for the offense as a floor general, and brings the ball up and really puts people in the right positions. Mm-hmm. And he opens up shots for Steph, and also pick and rolls off of him for those beautiful 3-point dribble arounds that Steph does. And him back, I think, is going to change the team. Right now, they're playing a pretty competitive, close game with the Clippers, who are arguably the second best team in the NBA as we speak. I think they're for real as a competitive team and make the playoffs, and who knows. But as a championship contender, they're definitely a faker. They are not going to win the championships this year. It's very unfortunate, but this is a good year for them to be competitive and play in meaningful games and make a playoff run and really develop these younger guys on the team that they've gotten in the past few years in James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins, so they can help them next year and the year after that and the year after that.
If the Warriors make it even as a play-in team, into the playoffs and they get good minutes, good games against another contender in the West, I think when they come back next year, they'll be a real force to reckon with.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Next is the Dallas Mavericks at 3-4. So they have a losing record. Are they for real or are they fake?
For real, straight up. Luka Doncic he's unreal. They don't have Porzingis back yet, which is hopefully will complement him a little bit more. But we what we get out of Porzingis, and even if he 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, like that's all you really need out of a guy like that. And I think that'll help put them over the edge. But they're still a good team. They got blown out by the Hornets, which I was like,
I don't know what the fuck happened there, man.
A lot of strange things happening. But no, the Mavericks have proved time and time again that they're a smart, competitive
they beat
team.
the Clippers by 50 points. We're forgetting that because it was a week and a half ago.
They sat Kawhi, but still, yeah, you're right. Which also, like, Kawhi sits out and they drop 50 on you. That's a huge MVP consideration right there. Like, remember when Peyton Manning was out and then the Colts went from a playoff team to like 1-16 or something like that?
Yeah. Football's a little different with the quarterback than that.
Peyton should have got MVP that year.
This is fake. They're a for real team. They've had a weird schedule. I think the Bulls are a lot better than people expect. They played a really competitive game last night against the Blazers and beat them. I bet them on that game. Won about $20 off of like $3 betting. It's pretty tight. They beat the Heat. They're good. It's just some fluky wins, and that happens, especially in a short season. They'll be fine.
They're 7 games in.
Yeah, they'll be sitting in the middle of the Western Conference.
Yeah, these are one of these teams. You can be sure they're gonna make it in the West.
Yeah.
They're one of those competitive teams we were talking about. That's like really gonna shake things up and put a hurt on somebody.
Yeah, bro.
I can't wait to see that. Mavericks are good. They've been good for a while.
Okay. The Atlanta Hawks, 4-4. Are they for real or are they for fake?
Atlanta Hawks. I was thinking about the Hawks earlier today because I was reading about the Bogdanovich trade deal, how it was a sign-in trade and he decided he didn't really want to sign that deal and with the Bucks in Milwaukee, and I was wondering like why wouldn't he not want to be a part of like a contending team, leave the Bucks and go to Atlanta, who isn't exactly like a playoff lock just yet. You know what I mean? They're still a good young team. But then it started getting me thinking about Dragic, another foreign guy who joined the Heat when they weren't much of a team, and then a couple years later, and now they went to the finals. And maybe Bogdanovich sees that too. They're going to get a couple more pieces in Atlanta. They got Trae Young, who's already a star for sure. So it takes a little bit of pressure off of him. I don't think the Hawks are a real contender this year, but they will be soon. Like, and when I mean contender, I mean like going to the finals kind of thing. That being said, they're 4-3 right now. I don't know. It's the Cavs are a good team, in the East right now. So like it's a toss-up if they're gonna get in. I think they're our playoff team. I think when they go up against like a real contender, like maybe the Celtics, you're gonna see a lot of the mistakes, loopholes. The defensively, they're the bigger guys are not that good. They get exposed there.
They have like
Trae
no
Young,
defense. It's insane.
Yeah, Trae Young, he got to pull those little ticky-tacky fouls, and I can't stand that. Especially he's already a really good scorer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they got some identity issues. That being said, though, I think they're still a for-real team. Who's going to make a lot of noise in this season? Yeah, for sure. But this is not their season yet.
I think they're fake, man. At least this season, and I agree with you with a lot of your points. A lot of their young guys are still kind of like, other than Trae Young, are still kind of like trying to figure it out. And they put together an interesting team, and I think they're going to be good in the future. I agree, like contenders for at least the East. Like John Collins, I really like DeAndre Hunter, and he's playing a lot better, especially as a recent. He's kind of won himself a starting job that he kind of lost early in the season or in the off season.
Well, they got Rondo over there, and I think Rondo is going to help those younger guys like Cam. Cam Reddish.
But I don't think. I think they're a playoff team, but maybe like an 8 seed. Like they barely make it in, but they just have a lot of development they still need to do.
Yeah.
Trae Young can't do it by himself. Bogey's great, but he's kind of inconsistent.
They got the other KD.
And I like John Collins a lot. The other KD, which one is that?
Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
the other
right.
KD.
So yeah, I think they're fake, but they're a team on the rise for sure. All right,
For sure.
let's go to our last few. Denver Nuggets at 3 and 4. Are they for real or are they for fake? Little worrisome.
Denver. No, Denver. It looks like the exact same team they did last year.
They're 3 and 4, man.
They play really smart basketball. They move the ball super well, and I think they shoot the 3 ball very well.
They do.
They've had some tough matchups. Let me see who they played.
The Suns, the Kings, and the Clippers are their losses, and they lost the Kings twice, which the Kings are going to come up shortly.
Yeah. No, I like the Nuggets. I think Jamal Murray is sick as hell. That's a bad man right there. Jokic, who leads the league in triple doubles, is playing just as good as he always does.
Top 10 player in the league easily.
Yeah, pending any injury. Let's knock on that wood. And Michael Porter Jr. I really like the Nuggets. I like watching them a lot. I think they're going to be just as good, probably similar seeding as they did last year. They're a for real team for sure.
They're having an issue filling that Jeremy Grant role, but they'll put it together and they'll figure it out. They'll get more production from guys like Will Barton or something like that.
They got Paul
and
Millsap.
they're starting to figure it out. They won 2 in a row. I mean, they beat the Timberwolves, which you can argue is a good team or not, and they had a close game with the Suns, which is probably the best team in the West right now.
Who did they draft? They got R.J. Hampton.
Yes.
And he's good. He's a smart player.
He's figuring it out for sure.
Haven't seen a lot of minutes from him.
But he's a backup guard. I mean,
100%. Yeah.
I think they'll be okay. So they're definitely for real. They'll bounce back. They already started
crazy, dude.
They already started to.
Bull.
Dude,
that dude looks crazy on the court.
One of your favorite names.
His arms are so long.
They are.
He's a large human being. It looks weird when he's on the court. I'm sorry, Bobo, or your father Manu, if you take offense to this, but you got some long ass arms, bro. It's nuts. like he's when he's on the screen.
Yeah, the wingspan. I get you.
It's insane. And he block shots. You're like, oh my god.
Where did that arm come from? He didn't have that a second ago.
He's so long, bro. He's so large. Yeah, for real team for sure.
All right, the Memphis Grizzlies 2 and 5, for real or for fake? Let's keep in mind a big injury to Ja Morant that they lost, kind of like the center of their team. So maybe that's part of this.
He's not going to be out for too long. One.
No, I'll be back in about a week or two.
They played against the Lakers the other night. Without him, and what a great game that was.
And without Jaren Jackson too.
Yeah, I mean they were already a team that I knew was going to do better than they did last year.
Yeah,
because they didn't have a great record going into the bubble, and they played their asses off, and they look good. Yeah, for sure. I think they're a for real team. If they could play like that without Ja Morant, they're going to play even better with him because dude is a relentless scorer.
1,000%.
So good.
They only lost by 2 points.
Who's that guy that was guarding LeBron? What's his freaking name?
Brandon
something.
Clark?
No,
Dylan Brooks?
Yeah. Dylan Brooks was all over LeBron. He's playing great defense. He got shitted on a couple times, but that's what happens when you go against the king. Dude was playing great defense, scoring at will. Yeah, I like that. Dieng, nasty.
Gorgie Jang. And Xavier Tillman, the rookie, bro, stepping up. I like how he plays with that team. Jonas Valanciunas is probably one of the most underrated players in the past 5 seasons.
Yes,
every team he's gone to, he's been such a big contributor. Whether it was the Raptors or this team.
But they got that shitty kid I don't like. Fucking what's his name? He went to Duke. No, yeah, his name. is,
Grayson Allen.
Grayson.
That shitty kid that I don't like. Great description there. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Grayson Allen, he's something else. No, they're 2 and 5. They had to play the Lakers, of course, twice. which I think are, contending champs, go again to win it all again. No, Grizzlies look good. I hope they keep going at it. It's a tough Western Conference for sure.
Yeah,
but they're gonna grind out these wins. I know it.
And with Ja Morant out, so I mean, before Ja Morant went down, they lost to the Spurs and they lost to the Hawks and they beat the Nets, and then he went down. They lost to the Celtics, they beat the Hornets, and they lost to the Lakers twice. So it's a decently tough schedule to play the Celtics and the Lakers. 3 out of 4 games. So yeah, he'll be back in a week and a half or 2 weeks, and they'll be back on track. I don't know about Jaren Jackson. I haven't heard any updates on him. I feel so out of the loop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The next 5 games, they play the Cavs twice, and they play the Timberwolves twice. So they could get a couple wins out of there. I'm thinking 3. They also play the Nets. That could be a toss-up without KD. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Sacramento Kings, team that I hyped up a big time last week. 3-4.
The Kings. It's hard to give a take on the Kings because they're just they're just completely unpredictable in my opinion. Like I have no idea if this is gonna last. I have no idea if they who they are as a team. They got Marvin Bagley, who kind of inconsistent. He didn't look that good against the Warriors the other night.
They've lost 3 in a row, 2 to the Rockets.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, that's a bad man. He plays real good basketball, fast, quick, scores on you when you're not even looking. He's got a good quick step when you go into the hole. Really like watching him play. Halliburton, he hasn't got a ton of minutes over there,
but dude, the minutes he's played, he looks good.
Yeah, the 3-4.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing with their losses. They've lost some really close games, except for the blowout against the Warriors, obviously by 30 points. To the Rockets, they lost by 8 points. The night before that with the Rockets, they lost by 3 points. To the Suns, they lost by 16. But
they also beat the Nuggets twice.
Yes, they have. All close games. And they beat the Suns once in a close game. Yeah, I don't know. Dude. They're all over the place.
Exactly. That's why I have no idea what's going on with the Kings. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad.
Yeah.
Some people who have been star players for them, quiet some nights. Hassan Whiteside, who had all of a sudden a great game against the Warriors, was kind of not really around other games, especially during that Rockets series.
Yeah.
I don't know. Buddy Hield is great.
When he's on,
fantastic.
They're good.
When he's on,
when he's not, they're bad. I think that's really what it is, because I think he opens up the floor for De'Aaron Fox more.
And Harrison Barnes too.
Yeah.
When Buddy Hield's on the floor and he's scoring a lot, he dishes a lot to Harrison Barnes, who's going to be open to make that jumper,
man.
which is crazy to see because I'm not a person who really relies on Harrison Barnes. Harrison has seemed pretty inconsistent lately. Ever since he left the Warriors, he just...
Yeah, us Warriors fans obviously have our issues with him based on his 2016 playoff.
Couldn't make a 3-pointer, bro.
His playoff.
He's 1 for 19.
Yeah, I think they're for real, as in they're for real a playoff team, especially with the play-in tournament. But they're not. I don't know. I mean, they're better than 3-4, I think. But they are inconsistent. Again, Buddy, I feel like their offense is so motivated by if Buddy's playing well or not.
Yeah, even if they make that play-in tournament, I don't.
You wouldn't be confident with them in a matchup?
I would not be confident with them. And I mean, it depends on who else is going to play in. But if it's a team like the Spurs or the Pelicans, I think they're going to have some trouble. Too soon to tell for the Kings. But for right now, I'm going to go with fake.
Yeah.
Because they haven't proved it yet, and they need to. They've always been like this every season. Consistently underwhelming. A lot of good stars, and then they lose stupid games.
Also, Halliburton can be a lot better, and we haven't even seen that yet. And if he gets there, watch out for them.
Just Kings things.
All right, our last team is the Cavaliers, who are 4-4. I thought they probably wouldn't even win a game yet, but somehow, some way, they have 4 wins and they're playing well. Are they for real or are they fake?
They started real hot, winning games left and right. Who they beat at first? They beat Hornets, Pistons, Sixers, and the Hawks. They were just busting out wins earlier. They had those two guys, Colin Sexton.
Who I think could win the most improved player.
And Darius Garland, that
better.
guy.
Yeah.
That power combo, fantastic. Kevin Love, though, on the decline.
What the fuck happened to that dude, bro? Did LeBron just kill his spirits? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he looks a step slow. He's smart and he rotates with defensive coverage as well, and he knows where to pass the ball and stuff like that. So that's nice because he's a veteran. But taken to the hole, he's at the post. He looks like he's down a step, you know?
I like how Colin Sexton has gotten so much better. Like, he was really, after LeBron left, they were really high on him, and they really thought that he was going to be something a couple years ago. And he kind of has struggled. But this year, he's fucking crushing it, dude.
He's killing it. Dude's playing really well. They got the other AD.
They do. They had Andre Drummond, that's right.
But for me, I'm going to say that the Cavs are fake.
Yeah. I'm going to say they're fake too, but there's promise.
Definitely promise.
Yeah.
But just like how the Kings we were talking about, you know, they have some young talent who has got a lot of energy, can score a lot of points, but that doesn't necessarily convert to wins.
No.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll do it for real for fake.
And they lost against the Magic after Markelle towards ACL.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Maybe it was a sympathy loss. They're like, hey, you guys can just beat us.
I'm sorry, guys. Here you go. You can have this one.
Yeah, he's out for the season. We'll give you this one, but never again. Like, nah.
All right, that'll do it for real for fake. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, Xavier, let's get to our games of the watch, and then we'll give out some rewards.
Real or fake, brought to you by fried chicken sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
If you have some chicken, fry it, put it in a sandwich. You'll enjoy it. I know I do.
So the homemade fried chicken sandwiches.
It's up to you. Just all fried chicken sandwiches in general. If it's grilled, I don't want it.
Fried, you'll enjoy it. Okay. So this week's game to watch is so we're sorry about doing this podcast late, everybody, by the way. Had a work trip this weekend, and I was exhausted, so we waited.
It's all Chris's fault. Xavier is a consummate professional.
It's
He's
true.
never late.
He's consummate professional who makes up fake sponsors just for fun.
Chris's Lies, brought to you by hate and deceit.
Xavier's doing this podcast today from his sister's fucking bedroom. Look at if you guys are watching the goddamn YouTube channel, you can see the fly net that goes around her bed frame.
In my defense, I don't live here, and I went around all the different rooms, and this is the only room that has
who's the
vibes.
Consummate professional today? I'm actually doing it from my nice background in my office in my apartment. You're doing
something against Puerto Rico.
You're doing your sister's goddamn bedroom.
This is
with
a wonderland.
pink sheets. There's pink sheets. I see.
Right.
There's a pink light.
What's wrong with pink?
Light fixture in the background. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Get the fuck
Sounds
out
like
of here.
you hating. All right.
You started hating on me. You started hating on me.
Because your sister would never.
You started hating on me because you called me a non-professional bitch.
I did not say that you weren't professional. I just re-suggested that I was one. You know what I mean?
Whatever. All right. Games to watch. What are games to watch brought to you by? What's the fake sponsor for this one?
There is no fake sponsor. NBA TV, like, they're already showing, hey, these are games. They don't need a sponsor.
That's true.
To watch games.
All right, on Thursday, January 7th.
It's a waste of money by a sponsor.
The Sixers play the Nets on TNT at 4:30. It's going to be a very good game. Mavs, without Kevin Durant, too. The Mavericks versus the Nuggets at 7:30 that night. Then on Friday, we got the Clippers versus the Warriors rematch of tonight's game, Wednesday the 6th, the night we're recording. On ESPN at 7 p.m. That should be a good one because right now a good one is cooking as we speak.
I forgot to tell you. All right, so you know how in the league, a lot of these games, a lot of these teams are doing like back-to-backs with the same team?
Yeah.
Instead of calling those like mini bubbles, I've been calling them double dips.
Ooh.
Right? Warriors got a little double dip coming up against the Clippers.
I like that,
right?
bro. I like
right?
that.
It's always like just 2 games, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
double
that.
Dip.
Is that sponsored?
God forbid there's a triple
Is that sponsored by Dips Ice Cream?
Dippin' Dots, the ice cream of the
Dippin'
future.
Dots.
Oh.
Wait, no, that was the ice cream of the future like 10 years ago, and then just never panned out. Like Dippin' Dots kind of fell off.
Because it wasn't good. Like, if I want an ice cream, I'll get like real ice cream. I don't want a bunch of dots to lie to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, what
Don't
are they
they dissolve in your mouth?
Lie to you? What are they lying to you about?
Because they look like the little balls, and then they just dissolve into nothingness in your mouth, and you're like, oh, this is great. It's just empty carbs.
So you don't like the texture? Ice cream in general is empty carbs. Okay, all right.
What do you want me to say?
Those of you
if it's really ice cream,
for those of you who are listening and not watching, he just shrugged his shoulders. That was his response.
for ice cream of the future, all right, I want it to be delicious, nutritious, and fat-free.
I want that for everything that I eat, but that's not
It's
the reality.
the future, all right? If you can't make ice cream like that, then I'm not taking the vaccine.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm not taking
I'm just kidding. I'm definitely going to take the vaccine. I encourage everybody else to do it when they see fit.
All right, Xavier, this isn't a political podcast. How dare you?
This is science.
Exactly. That's the irony. It's not political. It's science. It's science. All right, and then Saturday the 9th, we have the Nuggets versus the Sixers at noon Western time on NBA TV. And then after that, we have at 4 p.m. on NBA TV, the Heat versus Celtics. And then we have a rematch on Sunday, Heat versus Celtics on NBA TV at 4 p.m. Exciting weekend of sports in general. We got football playoffs. We got some big NBA games. And then college basketball's got some cool things going on as well. Do you have any awards? I have 2 awards.
I have some awards. I have actually 1 award, but I can come up with the second one real quick, so you should go first.
No, I'll go, and then you can give your one, and then I'll go again, and then we'll call it.
Okay.
Well, should we start off? Do we have any triple-double alerts?
Yes.
So let's start off with that.
Good call.
Let's start off with that.
Woo! Triple-double alert! All right, everybody.
What are triple-double alerts brought to you by?
Triple W. No, wait.
Triple double?
Double.
Triple W? www.tripledouble.alert.com.
This segment is brought to you by linguistics, something that I never mastered. There are 2 leaders in the NBA who are leading the league in triple doubles. Their names are Nikola Jokic,
nice,
and Russell Westbrook, who each respectively have 4. Oh my God, scroll, you piece of. And for any listeners out there who want to buy me a new laptop, please. I'm dying here. Okay, this week there have been 5 more triple doubles. On New Year's Day, LeBron James had a triple double against the Spurs in that win. He scored 26 points.
Nice.
Ben Simmons brings in his first triple-double of the season in a win against the Hornets. He scored 15, 12, and 11.
That's
a
what's
small
up.
one, but it still counts. Jokic recording his 4th in the win against the Timberwolves. Luka finally showing up, getting his triple-double. He hadn't had one all season.
Wow, his first one.
First one.
Oh, shocked.
And it came against the Rockets. He scored 33, 16, and 10. And a new one that just happened today, Steven Adams of the Pelicans.
Steven Adams got a triple-double? What the fuck?
A 10, 11, and a 10.
I genuinely never thought I'd see the day.
Versus his old team, the Thunder. They lost by 1 point.
Interesting.
Little fun fact that I have here. Russell Westbrook, he has 4 triple-doubles and has not won a game in which he scores a triple-double.
Oh, interesting.
Granted, they've only had 2 wins, and in those 2 wins, he did not score a triple-double.
So but that's been the issue with Russell Westbrook his entire career. He has like triple doubles, but they're like selfish triple doubles, which I know it sounds ironic, but like if you know basketball, you know that that's actually a thing. Like he like goes out of his way to get the assist, instead of like to the guy who's like making his run to the hoop or something like that.
Yeah, but you got to think that like if he's still like contributing, you know, like getting rebounds still helps. Getting assists still helps.
I get what you're saying,
but
you can't affect your offense performance if you're selfishly looking for triple doubles.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in their loss today, Bradley Beal put up 60 points, and like, yeah, that's huge. But was it detrimental to them winning the game at a certain point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when he scores 60, I'd like to say no. Like, hey, let that man keep scoring, regardless. You know, maybe somebody else needs to step up. But yeah, him having 4 triple-doubles, co-leading, and still not winning a game in which he scores a triple-double is absurd. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is. That's Russell Westbrook for you. Russell Westbrook. Jeez. Can't talk. I need another Kearns.
God, there he goes. All right. So my award is the one is the loneliest number award. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. A lot of singing on today's podcast. Two can be as sad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. But this is only about the number one. Draymond Green had 1 point against the Blazers in their big win and 60-point performance that Steph Curry had. So I know 1 point sounds bad, but he contributed in other aspects of that game, very important aspects. Ran the offense a lot, but he only had 1 point. So he gets my one is the loneliest number because there was only one.
Is a free throw, right? It had to be.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how
he
else
didn't even make the other one.
I don't know how else you
Didn't
score
even make
1
the other
point in that sport. All right, what's your actual award?
My first award goes to Jared Allen. It's called the Boardman Award. They played the Jazz 2 nights ago in a blowout win, 130-96, and he and Rudy Gobert kind of went at it. He had 3 blocks, scored 19 points, and had 18 rebounds compared to Rudy's measly 11 rebounds, 3 assists.
I should have had a feeling that this was just an award literally just to give out, just to shit on Rudy Gobert.
I'm calling him the Boardman, Jared Allen, because Boardman did get paid, and it wasn't him. It was, in fact, Rudy Gobert, and look where all those dollars went. You made a mistake, Utah.
You're just
But
mad.
You know what sucks?
You're just mad because I gave out the Marcus Lee honorary. Now I'm not professional. Your sister's
Just
now
keep going.
in the
Just
shot.
keep going, bro. Just keep going.
You're just mad at me. You're just mad at me because last week I gave out the Marcus Lee "We Live Above the Rim" award for rebounds. So you had to find an award that you can like one up him on. All right, another shrug. Another shrug. All right, here's my award. Here's my last award.
I don't like Rudy Gobert. He's a goober.
Yeah, no shit. I think the listeners get it by now.
Goober Gobert. All right, I won't talk about him for at least 2 pods. How about that?
I doubt it.
DM me if you want to hear about it next pod.
I'm gonna go out of my way to bring him up on our next pod to make sure that you
I like
go
saying
against that.
DM me because nobody ever DMs me. Are my DMs even open? Who knows at this point?
Yeah, maybe you turn them off.
All right,
what's
your next award?
So my next award is the Terry Benedict, but most of all, I just don't trust you award. So this award is a reference to, if you guys have ever watched Ocean's 11, one of my all-time favorite movies, great film.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy in that movie, played by Andy Garcia, his name is Terry Benedict. So that movie, it's about a heist, whatever. If you know the movie, you're going to know what I'm referencing. It's about a heist, and one of the crucial parts of the heist is Carl Reiner plays this character, an older man who has valuable gems and wants Terry, the owner of a casino, to put them in his main safe. So he escorts Terry Benedict, Andy Garcia escorts Carl Reiner, Saul, to the vault where he's gonna hold these very valuable but fake gems. And Saul wants to go inside the vault, and Andy Garcia's character says, "No, you can't." And he goes, and Saul asks, "Why not?" And Andy Garcia's character says, "For an insurance for one, security another, and most of all, I just don't trust you." Because he doesn't trust him, because he's just some random dude. So I always thought that was a fun line. So I'm naming this award the Terry Benedict, most of all, I just don't trust you. And that goes to Zion Williamson, because Zion was benched at the end, the last 2 minutes of a very close game against the Raptors a few nights ago. I thought this was a very weird move by Stan Van Gundy, because, I mean, whether you're a good defender or not, you never see the star of your team benched in the last few minutes of a game.
Never.
Like, even Trae Young, horrific defender, he's not going to be benched in the last couple minutes of game. You just don't do it. And Zion was benched, and you want to know why? Because he was playing shit defense in that last fourth quarter. And Stan Van Gundy walked up to him and said, "You're benched." And Zion was like, "But why?" And he said, "Well, rebounds for one, blocking another, and most of all, I just don't trust you." So that award goes to Zion Williamson. He didn't actually say those things. I just made up that little scenario.
He probably did.
Yeah, quote it word for word.
That's a big man running up and down the court. You know, if he doesn't know what he's doing, mistakes can be made.
And that award was sponsored by. Actually, I'm not the one who does the sponsors, so I'll throw it to you. What was that sponsored by?
The Wachowski sisters.
Oh, and Matrix 4 is coming out pretty soon, which I'm very excited about, on HBO Max.
Female-directed movie.
Yeah, all female
to watch.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. That'll do it, Xavier.
I got one more award.
Oh, you have another award. You got one. Okay, cool.
If you ever watch the Care Bears, this is the Share Bears.
The Share Bears award.
And the Share Bear award goes to the entire team of the Charlotte Hornets. They lead the league and averaging 29 assists a game.
That's a lot. Wow.
They pass the ball so much. They just love passing the ball. They pass the ball because they just want to share it. And, I think that's a good sign of a healthy, cohesive team. Or maybe just nobody's confident enough to actually take the shot themselves. You find out yourself.
Yeah, watch one of their games and you'll be disappointed by Zion. Or not Zion. What the fuck? He's just stuck in my head now.
LaMelo,
like we said at the beginning of the podcast. All right, that's going to do it for this week's podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it.
Finger guns.
And we will be back next week with more things and more finger guns. Give them sound effects for the ones who aren't watching on YouTube.
That's a water gun. There you go, listeners. All right? I love you.
NBA Breakfast is an independently produced podcast as a member of the Bandwagon Fan Podcast Network. It is hosted by Xavier Gomez and myself, Chris Madrigal, as well as produced by us. It is executive produced and managed by me, Chris Madrigal, and additional thanks and producer credit to my brother Larry Madrigal for helping us create the idea of the podcast and designing our logo and graphic. It is sound mixed and edited by me, and one final big shout out to our boy Mitch Maines, who provided music for our theme song. He has some great music. Go check out his music on SoundCloud, Mitch Maines, Maynes. Thanks again for listening, and please subscribe to our channel. We have new episodes coming every single week during the NBA season. Don't forget to tune in next week, and peace!